Well, good evening and welcome to lesson 18 of A Course in Miracles. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. And, this is really the first lesson that introduces an idea that we are one, that we are all connected, and that the idea of our separateness may not be so, may not be as we think it is. So, and the thing that I love about the Course is that it's so clear, it's so unequivocal in its message that we have two ways to see, through the eyes of love or the eyes of fear. And one of those is, I don't know if you want to call it unity consciousness or Christ consciousness, and brings forth the vision, which is the oneness of all things. And the other one is just completely chaotic. And if you're doing this book, it's because you've probably realised it's completely chaotic and you've had enough. But lesson 18, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Awesome lesson. It's another one of those lessons in the early part of the course that's a first. You know, so far we've had like 4 or 5 lessons wherein he sort of says, this is the first lesson of its kind. You know, there's a bunch of those in the start, and but there are 2 precepts for the whole course, right? Just to keep it really simple for anyone who's probably academically trying to put this together in their head with their rational mind. And you really have to abandon that kind of mindset. But the two precepts that this course rests upon are: time is not sequential, and there is nothing outside of my own mind, which brings you clearly to the here and the now, right? Within and without. So, but we'll do lesson 18, and we'll get to that point wherein that the realization of my oneness of self, or the oneness of self as it's exposed to me or revealed to me through a divine intervention in my mind, will prove and show me that everything that's written in this book is absolutely 100% true. It's like I don't expect anyone, and in fact, Jesus, when he started, I don't know if anyone remembers, right back before we did lesson 1, he says, you're not expected to believe these lessons or even welcome them. They're going to confuse the fuck out of you for ages until you have a shift, a quantum experience that starts to put them into perspective, and you have that sort of aha, you know, like light bulb on moment, and progress. And every time you have one of those moments, you'll have a little shift, and it'll be uncomfortable, and your body will take some time to recover, and you'll think that you're getting sick or having an anxiety attack or anything. It goes kind of nutty. Just breathe through it. Don't adjust to it. Breathe through it, right? This is a metaphysical book, metaphysical work, if you want to call it. I don't know a better word than that to call it, but it's a miraculous book, a miraculous course. All right, so lesson 18, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing, and I'm really enjoying the comments that people are writing to me in the inboxes. People are saying things like, I'm having an experience, I did this lesson today and this happened and whatever, and I've been following along and stuff. So that's really nice to know. You know, it's been a long time since I've been involved in a group setting, let's say, in a protracted kind of a way. And many years ago when I was, that was the status quo. People were just, minds were popping every other day of the week, and someone was always going through something, and it was encouraging to everybody else who was pushing their limits and all of that sort of stuff. And it was also just really lovely, you know, really nice to see people starting to let go of the old stuff and finding that freedom in their mind wherein they feel the joy of life again, you know, and the peace of God within, and all of that sort of stuff that we gloss over and just blow it off. You know, why blow it off? Why blow off love, true love, real love in your life? It's such an incredible mistake. You know, it's ridiculous. All right. Here we go. Lesson 18. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. The idea for today is another step in learning that the thoughts which give rise to what you see are never neutral or unimportant. It also emphasizes the idea that minds are joined, which will be given increasing stress later. Today's idea does not refer to what you see as much as to how you see it. Therefore, the exercises for today will emphasize this aspect of your perception. The 3 or 4 practice periods which are recommended should be done as follows. Selecting subjects for the application of the idea, randomly look at each one long enough to say, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see blank. All right, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see blank. Conclude the practice period by repeating the more general statement, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. A minute or so, or even less, will be sufficient. Right, so you just sit quietly for a minute or so and just let your glance rest on whatever it is and just repeat that to yourself, filling in the blank. Right, so I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see that massage table. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see that lamp. I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of how I see that massage table, etc. And anyone who doesn't know, I'm in the massage room. Okay, so that's lesson 18. And lesson 19, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Ooh, that's tomorrow. So hooray for everyone who's tagging along with these first 50 lessons. And I am aware that there are some of you who haven't before made it this far, which is the reason why I decided to do these first 50 lessons. And I have to say a big thanks to everybody really for that. But I'm just grateful, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be involved in this again in this way. This is a whole new way for me, this social media and doing this online and getting the results that's happening out there. And it's just beautiful. We all wake up together. It's not like I'm awake and you're awake, or I'm awake and you're not awake, or you're awake and it's not like that. It's one mind waking up. I know the illusion of separate minds doing things and teaching and learning is a very easy one to fall into, but the teaching and learning scenario, whether one person appears to be more ahead than the other and somebody's just starting on the lessons for the first time or anything like that, makes no difference, right? In this moment, whole and perfect unto itself, mind is waking up. Right? Now, one of the things also that he says, that the Course says, and I can't remember it word for word, is something about an elder brother is entitled to your devotion if he is devoted. And I have had a few people who are writing to me in that vein, and whilst I appreciate the gratitude and the idea of that I'm a teacher or something like that, I do appreciate that, and it's a nice reflection for me to have, but I would rather that all gratitude be unto God, right? Because that's really like, there's nothing I have that you don't have, right? And I know that every spiritual teacher, everyone who's ever tried to teach this has had to actually explain that to students, because the tendency is to want to verify something outside of myself, or verify my guru or my teacher or my whatever, and it's not that way. All right. So whilst I'm grateful that you're excited and everything like that, gratitude to God, glory to God, and what is given to God serves the whole, right? So, and I really like that. So thanks to God for you, and etc. All right, I love you, and if you're enjoying these lessons, like continue to write in. Like that's cool. I'll get around to writing back as soon as I can. Bye.